Often when I'm standing at my local TCG shop and looking for something to pull for myself, like ETBs or booster boxes or displays, I have the question in my mind, which ones should I buy to get the best cards or the most rare cards, which are worth the most also? And how can I optimize it? Where can I pull the most packs from without losing much money? So just whipping for fun. If you've asked yourself this question too, then you're here in the right place, as we'll now take a detailed look at which of the booster packs from the current Scarlet Violet era are the best for pulling cards while not losing too much money. Probably we all love pulling cards the most, and let's be honest, it's way cooler than just buying the singles directly. What I found really interesting is that there are some specific sets which will generate smaller loss when you pull the cards than booster packs from other sets. At the end of the video there will be a complete overview and my recommendation on which booster packs you should open to save the most of your money and have the most fun with whipping the packs without getting wrecked. I will update this overview every few months since the card prices are constantly changing and the new sets are added, so feel free to subscribe to always have the latest overview. So let's dive right in. So far we have 10 main sets in the Scarlet and Violet era. I will not include the Trick and Treat series and McDonald's series, so we just take a look on the normal sets. So the first thing we want to know is, how do the pull rates look across these 10 sets? Alright, let's dig into the numbers. For Scarlet and Violet we have a total of 444 cards, including the reverse variants, which means this is the number needed for the complete master set. I know the master set definition is a bit tricky, but here it means just all the normal cards, the reverse or parallel set cards, and the secret rares. Currently, the set has a value of only 357 and includes 60 secret rares. I can already tell you that this is one of the lowest prices for a master set in the entire Scarlet and Violet era, though this is quite common with many base sets across the different eras. In terms of the PSA population, there are nearly 67,000 graded cards out there right now. The pull rates for this set are 1 in 54 booster packs for hyper rares. Those are the ones with the golden background and 3 golden stars on it. Then 1 in 32 for the special illustration rares. Those are often chase cards and got 2 golden stars on the front. So this means that you usually should have on average 1 special illustration rare inside a booster display, which contains 36 booster packs. For the illustration rare cards, or also often called art rares, we got 1 in 13 booster packs. Those cards have 1 gold star on it and sometimes are also chase cards. And then we got 1 in 15 for the ultra rares, which got 2 silver stars on it, and 1 in 7 for double rares, which are often usual EX cards and not counted as secret rares since they belong to the normal cards of a set. In a whole, you got there a chance of 80% to pull a secret rare card of the set. This is round about in every 5th pack. We will compare the pull rates of all the sets, then we can get a better idea of which sets have good pull rates and which sets have not so good pull rates and which are hard to pull from. One last note here for the pull rates. It seems like that the specific cards have slightly different pull rates. For example, we got inside the special illustration tier different pull rates for the Koraidon and Miraidon. For our calculations, we will use an even distribution, so we go with the special illustration rare rate of 1 in 32 for all the special illustration rares, since we do not have these detailed information available for all the sets we are going to research. And this will not have an extreme influence on the later results anyway. Okay, last but not least, the chase card in this set is Gardevoir EX, but we could not really call it here a chase card, since it only sells for $27. Which is quite low compared to other sets we will see. But I really like the Complete Evolution line and the artwork of these cards, and it's pretty cheap to buy them right now, as it would cost around about $50 for the Complete Evolution line. So I think I will get them soon for this reason. Okay, now we will go quickly through the numbers of the other sets so that we can compare all of them. The next one is Paldea Evolved, released in June 23, just 1 month after the base set. And here we see again a big set which contains 455 cards in total, which is also the largest of the whole Scarlet and Violet era. 86 cards are secret rares, and we got a total value of the master set of around about $800, which is more than double the amount from the base set. And the PSA population is very close to the prior number, with around about 58,000 graded cards. The pull rates are very similar to the ones from the base set before, so we do not go into the details here. One note here, if you do not want to see all the detailed info on every set, you can just skip with the timestamps down below here and go to the set which interests you the most, or go to the final results. Next up is the Obsidian Flames set, and I really did not expect this in this set, since it contains 3 Charizard cards which are quite visually appealing, but the whole master set is currently priced at only $250, which is incredibly low. As expected, the chase card is the Charizard EX and it costs just over $50 right now, and the pull rates are again the same than before. What's striking with this set is that it seems to be harder to grade than the previous two, since there are 24,000 PSA 10s, but 37,000 PSA 9s. For the other sets, we got more like 1-to-1 relation. I do not know the exact reason, but it's often the case that some of the cards in a set are harder to grade and some are easier to grade. We also saw this in the past with other eras as well. For those who are curious, I got the data from TCG Player. You need just to Google Scarlet Violet Pull Rates TCG Player and you will quickly find them. TCG Player calculates the pull rates based on booster openings of several thousand cards they did themselves. For example, in the Scarlet and Violet base set, they opened up 8,000 booster packs, which is huge, hence have a statistically sufficient sample size. The next set is already a beast of this era, and as expected, it is 151, which came out in September 2023. When we look on the PSA population, we see a crazy number, which shows 184,000. It's really crazy how this one outperforms the other sets. Also, when we take a look at the master set, we got right now a valuation of 1,100. And there are so many great artworks in this set that it could be expected that they have high demand, which is obviously the case. But we can also see that there is a high supply, or just that many booster packs got ripped and sent to PSA. Since there will be a new product in February, I think it's kind of expected that these numbers will further increase the next year. And when we take a look on the pull rates, we see that we got a slightly increased chance of pulling illustration rare cards, which is up from 7.7 to 8.5, and a slightly lesser chance on pulling double rares. The chase card is for sure the Charizard, which skyrocketed the last month, but came back now after the announcement of the new 151 product in the next year, but it still sits at round about 180 right now. The next set is Paradox Rift from November 23, where we see a huge change in the pull rates. For hyper rares, we only got a 1.2 chance, which was before close to 2%. And the special illustration pull rate dropped 1% point to only 2.1%, which is a huge difference. But therefore, the double rare pull rate increased to 15.5%. So when we take a look on the PSA population, we see that this set only got 39,000 gradings, which is the lowest up to this point. And the master set has a valuation of $672, which is a solid value. And the chase card is for sure the Groudon, which goes for about $60. Let's take a look at Paldean Fates now, which has a unique feature of bringing back the shiny cards, following the major shiny sets Hidden Fates in Sun and Moon and Shining Fates in Sword and Shield. The shiny cards have their own rarity, so with two rarity types here, the shiny ultra rares and the shiny rares. And the ultra rare shiny appears in every 13th pack, while regular shinies appear in every 4th booster pack. Interestingly, the rarer cards are actually worth less. Ultra rares average 2.38, while regular shinies go for 4.35. This is because there are only 12 ultra rares, but a total of 120 different regular shinies, so 10x. Since ultra rares appear in every 13th pack, they repeat more often than the 120 regular shinies, which are found in every 4th pack, or 25% chance. So there are more specific ultra rares, which may seem counterintuitive at first, but makes sense upon reflection. Among the other pull rates, the special illustration rares and the illustration rares stand out here, as they have become even rarer than in the previous set, with rates of 1.7% and 7.2% respectively. Thanks to the abundance of shiny rares, the master set is nearly as valuable as the 151 set, and sit just at over $900 right now. The PSA population is in the middle range with 60,000 graded cards. Among the chase cards, we've seen a bit of a surprise and a shift in the lead. So the Charizard EX is no longer in the top spot at $140. Instead, the Bubble Mew has taken first place at nearly $170. Personally, I think the Charizard has a nicer artwork, but I know there are many who absolutely love the Mew. And I must say my favorite Mew from Scarlet and Violet is definitely the one from the promo series, which is also one of my absolute favorites within the 151 set. Even though that the sets contain many incredible cards. But back to the main topic, next we'll take a look at Temporal Forces. For Temporal Forces, we see the pull rates for hyper rares and special illustration rares dropping again heavily, but the double rare weight increases slightly. Not so cool, we rather see the other way around. But what is really huge is that we started in the era with special illustration pull rates of over 3% and are now down to just above 1%, which is really a crazy drop. And at least the pull rates for ultra rares and illustration rares seems to be stable over this era. But yeah, also with Temporal Forces, we saw the Ace spec cards, which got a 1 in 20 chance of pulling them, so around about 5% then. And we can also observe that the sets are getting a bit smaller now. Temporal Forces, for example, has only 358 cards, and the Master set costs around about $700, which falls in the mid-range. And the chase card are, I would say, Raging Bolt, Walking Wake, Iron Crown, and Gorging Fire, ranging between $70 and $40. The next one is Twilight Masquerade, where we see again a very high value for the Master set of close to 1k, which gives it the second place after 151, and the pull rates stay constant here for the set from the last one. Also, the PSA population is very close to the population of Temporal Forces. And the chase card in this set is easy to name, I think, since it is the amazing Green Ninja, which are now traded for $300. This is insane. I remember some months ago after release, I started on the same level with the trainer cards Perrin and Carmine, which are still at around $70, which is still great, but the Green Ninja is really a chase card of the whole Scarlet and Violet era. Now with Shrouded Fable and Stellar Crown, the PSA populations are not reliable since the sets are only out for some months, and as we all know, PSA takes some months to grade the cards. For Shrouded Fable, which was released back in August, we see that the set is rather small with only 154 cards, but with a master set value of close to 600, which is decent for that amount of cards inside the set. In this set, it's noticeable that the special illustration pull rate is slightly higher at 1.5%, though still significantly below the rates from 2023. Similar to the 151 special set, the illustration rare pull rate is also slightly increased here. It seems that special sets got an increased illustration rare hit rate. What's interesting about this set is that there isn't a true chase card. The most valuable card is actually a trainer card, Earthen Vessel, followed by another trainer card, Cassiopeia, both value around $60. I think Earthen Vessel is often used in the TCG and needed in many decks of players, so they seem to go for the gold card to get it into their decks, so maybe it's out of prestige. Yeah, you can also buy other Earthen Vessels, but maybe this one is special because of their gold background. The last set until now for the Scarlet and Violet era is Stellar Crown. Okay, now we got certain sparks, but I did not have the numbers yet, so I did not include it in the video. And for Stellar Crown, we see again pull rate similar to the sets prior to Shrouded Fable and a mid-range master set price of $530. And the chase card here is the Terrapugos card. When we now look at the PSA population across all sets, it's clear that the 151 set is leading by a huge margin. With 185,000 graded cards, it's far ahead, and no other set except for the promo series has even reached 100,000 graded cards. Given that we'll see another new 151 product early next year, which is already generating a lot of hype, it's likely that this number could surpass 200,000 graded cards, which is really large for a modern set. And in second place is Obsidian Flames with 72,000 cards. So this set appears to be the hardest to grade, as it has relatively few PSA 10s compared to the other sets. And the numbers of Stellar Crown and Shrouded Fable, however, aren't yet truly representative as mentioned, since PSA need at least 3 months to grade the cards, and these are likely still in their vaults. The set with the most secret cards by far is Paldean Fates, mainly due to the shiny variants, which are counted as part of the secret card pool. And looking at the master set value ranking, 151 also holds here the top spot with a value of nearly 1,100, followed by Twilight Masquerade and Paldean Fates in second and third place. For the pull rates, we see, especially for special illustration rares, a hard cut from 3 to 1% for the newer sets. Also, the pull rates for hyper rares got extremely low for the recent sets, but the rate for double rares increased therefore. Okay, which may be not so nice. And if we think about that, we need 90 packs to pull one special illustration rare. This is like only one card in every third display, which is really rare. So we can definitely say that the newer sets are harder to pull from. And for the illustration rares and ultra rares, we see nearly no changes. Only in the special sets like 151, we see here a slightly higher art rare pull rate. Now that we have a rough overview of all the sets of the Scarlet Violet era and also their pull rates, we can now finally research which of the sets we should pull them from the booster packs to keep the most of our money. For those who skipped the video to this point, welcome back. And yeah, let's start. The last numbers now that we need to know are 1, the price of the booster packs of each set, and 2, the average value of the cards for each of the rarities. Let's first take a look on the average price for the sets. We'll note here where the prices are coming from. I got a database where each price for each card comes daily from Card Market, and I converted just the values from euro to dollar. Okay, what can we see here with the average prices? What immediately stands out is the extreme variation between the sets. For example, the 151 set has exceptionally high average values for special illustration rares, exceeding $60. While at the lower end, the 3 older sets, the base, Paldea Evolved and Obsidian Flames, average only at $15 per card, so it's 4x, it's crazy. We can directly see the shift in pull rates for hyper rare cards as well, with values increasing in sets from Paldean Fates onward, as the pull rate is significantly lower in these sets. Paldean Fates is unique in that it's primarily defined by the value of its shiny cards, which have on average a value of over $4, which is very cool since they are in every 4 pack and you often get them. So then for ultra rares, prices are fairly consistent across the sets except for 151, where they are noticeably higher, reaching up to $20. For illustration rares, we see highest values again in 151, as expected, and followed by Shrouded Fable and Paldea Evolved. So we got these values here for booster packs, for single booster packs. So when we buy them as single booster packs, not in a booster display. And this price is again from Card Market and as average values. So if you're lucky, you might be able to get those even cheaper. For example, I was able to buy some 151 packs for $7 last week. As we can see, we pay a small premium for Paldean Fate boosters also, and quite a substantial premium for the 151 boosters. Now, taking into account the average pull rates and average prices for the specific rarities, we can do the math and calculate how much we lose on ripping each booster pack on average. As we know, we not only got the hit cards inside the booster packs, but also many commons and uncommons, normal rares, reverse cards. So I just assumed 3 cents for those cards each, with is the normal bulk price, and 10 cents for the rare cards. In real world, this might be a bit higher, as some reverse cards also have some value, up to $1 sometimes, especially for the hype sets like the 151. But for simplicity and not knowing the exact pull rates here, I just assumed the same values for all the sets. I calculated for the final result how much money we get back in card values and percent of the booster price we paid. So for example, if the value is 60%, we would get 60% of the booster price we paid when we would sell the single cards we pulled from the pack. Remember that these are average values and we can for sure pull a chase card even on the first booster. if we are lucky. So keep this in mind. Okay, finally we get to the point everyone was waiting for. Please tell me which booster should I rip off. So the final result is that we got our worst pack to pull from, as we could have expected, from the set with the lowest master set value, which was Obsidian Flames. There you will lose half of your money, and so it's not a good idea to pull from this set. Okay, now on the other side, we got on the third place for the best packs to pull from. We got two sets with exactly the same percentage of the money we will get back from pulling the booster packs, which are Twilight Masquerade and Paldea Evolved, where we will get back 60% of our money. So much better as on the worst set, which we will only receive half of our money back. Now, on the second place, we got 151, where we will get 65% of our money back when selling our pulled cards. So 2% better than the prior ones. And now finally, the booster pack which you should open to stop losing money, or better say to minimize your loss on opening packs. It is Shrouded Fable. And here you will get back 84% of your money, which is really close to whipping packs for free. But one thing to note here, if you now already sprinted to your purse and grabbed your credit card to buy a bunch of booster packs, hold on here. It is important that we also take a look in the nominal dollar amount we lose per pack. And here we can see that we will lose over $3 when we opening up one 151 booster pack, which is more than some other packs cost in total. So if you want to maximize on how many booster packs you can whip for, let's say, $100, you should go for the Shrouded Fable instead of the 151 or the other sets. Also like it more to pull from sets where you have the chance to get a chase card, which has a high value. So I would suggest to try out Twilight Masquerade for this case, to have like more fun over Shrouded Fable. Or if you got your hands on some cheap 151 boosters, you can go also for these. But yeah, only if you really save some bucks on these. You can buy packs cheaper, as noted here, your loss obviously decreases. But I think we will always pay a premium for whipping the packs. And to be honest, I did not have expected to see value as high as 84% in this list even. And I'm curious on how this will look like in a few months. If you want to take a look by yourself on data, I'll link the table in the description below. Also, I will do the same analysis video for the Sword and Shield era soon. And I will also update the Scarlet Violet values in the next update video in a few months, then with Surging Sparks. And so if you do not want to miss out on any of this, hit the subscribe button and activate the bell. So see you the next time.